Hey guys, so I just had a super frustrating first experience at the physical therapist. It is entirely related to this channel, and I need to just rant it out and also warn everybody. So I'm doing PT for a recurring wrist and shoulder injury. See, when I'm pissed, I can't even talk. Which is not relevant. What is relevant is that it is taking place at Mount Sinai, Queens. For those of you who are not New Yorkers, Mount Sinai is supposed to be a very good hospital, and they have a Queens section, which I would expect a certain amount of training given to their staff. I'm not the first trans person who's walked into that hospital. I can guarantee it. But that's sure as hell what it felt like. Because when I showed up there with my new ID, which right now my driver's license is a temporary without my face on it, because it takes, 7 to 10 days, like usual, for it to arrive. I give them my ID, and they start to, flat out argue with me and considered not letting me have my PT appointment because of my gender change and not having a picture. So, obviously on a dysphoric day, the last thing I want to do is relive the fact that I was born female and that I have all this anatomy. So, what do I have to do? Well, they require for me to show them my old IDs. So I gave them my old driver's license, my medical marijuana card, and the new license, which has, as far as I'm concerned, all the information they could possibly need on it. It's a PT appointment, for Christ's sake. I don't even understand what the deal was, but basically I had to fork all that over. And then the woman proceeds to spend literally 10 minutes just staring at me, staring at the IDs, staring at me, staring at the IDs, trying to decide whether she's going to let me in the door. Meanwhile, I just drove an hour to get to this appointment. So I'm not happy. And I was already kind of cranky, and, I just think it's completely unacceptable. You have my proper new ID, which doesn't obviously match my old IDs. Why can't you just go ahead with that one? You're looking at me, I'm there. How about also, why not say something on the phone to somebody? It is really important that you have a current photo ID. That is not what I was told. I was told to bring an ID, my insurance card, and the referral. I brought all that stuff. If I knew that it was really important to have a photo ID, then I definitely would not have walked in the door, because I probably could have guessed that this all would have happened. But I could not have predicted this, and so I was really thrown off and really upset and felt really shitty and kind of victimized by the fact that, this is a hospital, this is a well-known hospital, and I'm coming here to get treated for my health, and because I'm trans and got my new ID, just because it doesn't have a new picture on it right this minute, they're not going to treat me? It was just incredibly frustrating. And then, to make matters worse, they were incompetent, so even with 3 IDs, they still spelled my first and my last name wrong, and put the incorrect gender, which I then had to go through a whole process of correcting and filling out all this paperwork. It was insensitive and unprofessional and just not properly handled at all. So basically, one, if you're a trans person and you have just changed your ID, I don't even recommend going and dealing with any medical stuff or anything like that until you have your full ID. I will not make this mistake again. 2, if you work at Mount Sinai Hospital or at a hospital in general, you should have protocol for things like this, because it's not even just like, even any person could have an issue with one of their IDs and get a new identification. Even, for example, if they turn 21 and they need to get an updated license and they want to have a different picture so they don't look like a child, this is still going to be an issue. But it just hits home more so for me because I felt like I was being attacked for my gender, and just, the fact that this was something I needed to do. I needed to get new identification, which ironically I was getting to avoid situations like this, and still somehow I managed to have an issue. So if you work at a hospital, if you're responsible in HR or whatever for training anybody, please figure out the right way to go about this, so that way the next trans person who comes in doesn't be made to feel like shit, because that's honestly, it was just the most frustrating, aggravating experience. It made me honestly just want to walk out the door, and now I'm sort of stuck in it. So I guess, this is just what I'm going to do, and I couldn't even get another appointment for 2 weeks, so at that point I will have my new ID, but it was just a really crappy situation, and really just made me not feel great about myself and valid in my identity. So, yeah, thanks for letting me rant about it. Let me know if you've had any situations similar, what you did, what you think about what happened to me, whether you think I'm overreacting or whether you totally get what I'm saying. Let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. I need to go chill out or something. Bye, guys.